It's time for the Lavish Biker Podcast, powered by Lavish T. Williams. It's the dopest, realest podcast in the nation. We talk about everything biker related with no filter. This show ain't for the weak, insecure suckers in their feelings. This show is for the real ones. Thank you and everyone for tuning in, and make sure to add, like, follow, and subscribe at Lavish T. Williams on all social and streaming platforms. And now, let's get into the Lavish Biker Podcast with your hosts, Lavish T. Williams and Pedro.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Listen, it's 10 o'clock. It's Thursday. I'm doing something new. Listen, check this out. I'm going out viral with different individuals. I'm doing out-of-state guests, 10 o'clock at night. Different people. It ain't got to be a long podcast. Just something real short, sweet, get right to the point, but networking and building relationships with these people that we see all over social media, all over these groups. When we communicating and talking, we always see their names in the post, but now I'm going to connect with them and we're going to build some type of dialogue, man. So tonight, I got a guy from New Orleans, Louisiana, Just GQ. I got him here on the show. I want to bring him on. GQ, what's going on? You there? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, cool. We got GQ, man. So everybody, that's GQ. Actually, he's a member of Rare Breed Baton Rouge. So everybody, man, give him a warm round of applause. Yeah. So G, man, what's going on, man?
I'm good, brother. I'm good, man. Glad to be here.
Man, that's cool, man. Glad to have you here, man. So listen, I couldn't help but notice you've been out here on the bike set. You've been on this Harley, man. You've been doing your thing. I mean, you've been riding. You actually came up to the Motor City last year. Yeah. At the time, I didn't even know you. And it's funny the way we met. We met through the internet from Big Sale. Mm-hmm. That's our mutual connection was Big Sale. You know, we both doing our thing, two different regions of the country. And we all tied in through him, man. So how long you been on the bike set, man? How long you been riding?
I bought my first motorcycle in 2007. So I've been riding officially since 2007.
Okay, 2007, man. And you coming out here on the bike set, riding the motorcycles and doing the things you're doing. What made you want to jump into the bike game?
When you say bike game, we talk about like
just riding motorcycles, just getting out here saying, "Hey, I want a motorcycle."
Man, I always wanted a motorcycle. Always wanted a motorcycle. I rode bikes. I always had an interest in two wheels, like from a youngin'. You know what I mean? And I would get on my bike, my pedal bike, and me and the guys around the neighborhood, we ride all over the city. We got the one guy with the book sack with the patches and the air pump, and we just going all the adventures.
Yeah. And,
you know what I'm saying? Like, we traveling all across the city, man. Don't come back to the street light about to come on. But, when I got older, I always told myself, if I got the funds, I wanted to buy me a motorcycle. So I was in college at the time and got a nice little refund check and bought my first motorcycle.
So you in college. Took that refund check. Yeah. You're supposed to be using on school.
Yeah, there was a refund.
You say, man, you know back. What? I want to give me a motorcycle with this, man. I'm not messing around. I'm not using this for school, man. I'm gonna use this for something that I want to do. That's going to be enjoyable. That's what you did, huh?
Hey, look, the school was take care of. You know what I'm saying? So I had extra money, and I got a good deal on it and scooped it up. Didn't know how to ride it at all. I just went and bought it.
Yeah, no, man, that's cool, man. That's a good thing, man. So what was your first bike?
My first bike was a 2002 Honda CBR FOI. That was my first bike.
Okay. A Honda, man. That's cool.
Oh,
Mine
yeah.
was a Suzuki Gixxer 750.
Mm-hmm.
Then I jumped from that to the 1000 when the 1000 first came out, man. I thought it was
Yeah.
I thought it was a dope bike, and at that time it was a powerful bike, because 750 was a big bike, and then you had the sports touring bikes that was a little bigger, but the 1000 when that bike came out in 2001, it was a beast, man, and I was already riding, man. So now you got the crotch rocking, man. Share with me about that crotch rocket life, man, before you transitioned over to the Harley.
So I sat up there, went me and one of my partners, we went and got the bike, came back, and I taught myself how to ride it, like just going up and down the street. And then after a while I get on the main street and ride around a little bit from light to light. And then, eventually I go a little further and then get on the interstate, get off one exit and come around. And then, from there, man, we was just wide open because, in college, it's not a lot of, well, when I was in college, it wasn't a lot of people on campus with sport bikes or just bikes in general. So, when I popped out, I was like one of the first dudes on campus with a motorcycle. So it was like, man, who that dude is, you know what I'm saying? And then, a couple of my partners, they went and got some too. So it was like a crew of like 5 of us. And we just like, pull up to the campus, you know what I'm saying? Revving our engines, we thought we was, big stuff, but it was cool because it gave me another mode of transportation to ride back and forth home. So
Okay.
I can save gas and I can, for lack of a better term, I can haul ass like going up and down 49, you know what I mean? Just running. I make it home in like 3 hours. Just getting it. But I
Okay.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. But I say this, and that's for a lot of people who get into the bike game, or they want to get a sport bike and they think they learned the sport bike. And I'm saying that from my standpoint. Like I thought I had it under control. I thought I just knew everything about it. I thought I could control it like no other. And I probably had that CBR for like maybe 6 months, and then I jumped up to 929 RR, which is like way more power. I could just,
It's a torque master bike. A lot of torque.
oh,
Now I don't roll
I
them. It's a lot of torque.
can gas it, and that sucker coming like straight up in the air. And I had a real bad accident on that bike. I had a really, really bad accident. To the point where I had to get airlifted. I had to get airlifted an hour and a half away because my school was kind of in between like major cities and stuff, and they didn't have like major hospitals. So I was on a helicopter unconscious, and they flew me to Shreveport, which is like an hour and a half away from my college. And I had a lot of broken bones in my neck, fractured bones in my spine, kidney and spleen all messed up, broke ribs,
Damn.
collarbone. Yeah, it was bad. It was
Yeah.
it was bad.
It sounded like it was bad. It sounded like you did a number.
Oh yeah, I did.
How long were you down?
Actually, when I awoke, when I became conscious, it was like maybe like a day and a half later, and I woke up. And first thing I'm asking, like, where my bike at, how my bike doing, you know what I'm saying? They're like, the doctor like, man, you shouldn't even be riding no more. And I'm like, man, I couldn't see that happening. But I was in the hospital for like another week, and then they discharged me. So I came home, arm in a sling, neck brace, all that good stuff, and just in a whole lot of pain. So about a week, and I was back home.
Okay. I mean, now most of us diehard bikers, whenever something like that do happen, Lord forbid we get into a crash, but when we do get into a crash, isn't it funny how the first thing we think about is our motorcycle?
Man, look, I was like, and it was
That's the
tore
first
up
thing
too,
we think
man.
about is the motorcycle. How's the bike? Is the bike all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, that's cool, man, that you still had a passion. It didn't scare you. Sometimes we get individuals, they crash. All it takes is that one bad crash, and they're not messing around with motorcycles no more. It's a wrap. It's a done deal. I tried it. I crashed. It didn't work. I don't want to mess around with motorcycles, but you got back up, man. Now, when you got into another bike, was it another crotch rocket, or did you go to the Harley?
Oh no, I got right back on the cross rocket.
Okay.
I would say maybe 3 months later. One of my friends I rode with up in the area, he was an older guy, and I was like, man, I just need to ride. I need to ride again. And he let me ride his booster. So I hopped on the booster. So I rode his booster around for like another week. I was like, man, I gotta give me another bike. And he just happened to have a 2003 CBR 600 CBR RR, and he let me buy that from him for like 2,500, and I was back on it, and I rode that until I graduated from college, and I sold it, and I moved back home.
Okay. Yeah, no, man, that's cool. Now we moving forward, man. Now we getting to the good stuff, man. We getting to the good stuff. That's what I want to know, man. What made you riding the crotch rocket, man?
Right.
And for me, I used to laugh at the Harleys. I didn't want a Harley because I was a crotch rocket guy all the way up until 2006. Now, what made you want to step into the Harley game? Let me ask you this. Did you see yourself wanting to really get a Harley, or was it that one ride on the Harley changed your life, man, and you had to have a Harley?
So it was more, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it was. So the first club I joined, shout out to Insane Hunters Motorcycle Club. We went on a couple of rides, and we went to Alabama, then we went to Texas, and a couple of places in between. And I'm the only dude on the at this time I'm on a Repsol 1000, and everybody cruising. They just riding. They sitting back, feet kicked up, arms relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Some of them drink out their little cup holders and stuff, and I'm sitting up there like the whole time. And I'm like, man, this ain't gonna be this can't be life. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And we went back to Houston, and
now you on a crotch rocket.
Yeah, I'm on a cross rocket. So I'm just, going back and forth, couple of 100 miles, on these trips. And I knew I wanted a cruiser. Now at the time, I didn't really know anything about like Harleys and Indians or Kawasaki, nothing. I just knew they had sport bikes, and I knew there was cruisers. I didn't know nothing else between that. All my information, all my knowledge was on the sport bike side. And we were at a club, and it was a bike event at the club, and I saw the most beautiful bike I had seen at the time, man. And I walked up to the dude. I was like, man, what kind of bike is that? He was like, man, it's a Harley. I said, well, what kind of Harley is it? He was like, man, it's a Road King. I'm talking about he had it like, he had the apes on it, white walls, fast spokes. You know what I'm saying? He had a little light kit on it.
Yeah.
It was, man, shining like a new penny, man. I'm just like, man, I gotta have one. And so as soon as matter of fact, before we left, we were eating breakfast before we got back on the road, and I put my bike for sale online. By the time I made it back home, 2 days later, somebody came and bought the bike, and then I bought me a Road King maybe like another week after that. So I just knew I wanted a Road King at that point.
Okay.
Hadn't really wanted or nothing. I just knew that was the bike I wanted.
You just seen it. It was like, hey, there
Love
you go.
at first sight.
Love at first sight.
Had to have it.
You put the bike up for sale before you even made it back to the house.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't play no games. When it's time for me to get rid of something, I'm gonna do everything in my power to go ahead and get off it as quickly and as efficiently as possible,
right?
So I can get back on something quick.
Yeah, I bet, man. Now you got this Harley. Now you doing road trips, man. Now is this making the road trips even better, more comfortable, and making you want to go even further at this point? Or were you already doing that on the Rocket?
I had just started really like traveling on a rocket. You
Okay.
know, my longest ride on a rocket was like 6.5 hours or whatever. From where I went to college to my house was like 4.5.
Okay.
So I kind of had that under wraps. But did it make it more comfortable? Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, because I wasn't, slumped over and things like that. But no, because I still wasn't prepared, you
For that
know,
Harley life.
yeah, hard. Like I wasn't prepared, like at all. My first ride, I went to uh I went to the Lone Star Rally a week after I bought my Road King. Man, I didn't do nothing to the bike. I ain't changed no oil. I didn't have all I had was like clothes and a saddlebags. I didn't have a tool kit. I didn't have rain gear. I had the little plastic I think it's in here somewhere. I probably threw it out. Had the little plastic little German helmet with some shades on, and man, I didn't know no better, man. It was miserable because when we left, it stormed on us from Galveston all the way to New Orleans. So it was like 6.5 hours, almost 7 hours of straight rain.
All
No
right.
gear, no nothing, no proper protection. And looking back, man, it really was dangerous. So I preach a lot of, like safety and stuff and being prepared, not because looking back, man, it wasn't a good look. A guy actually felt bad for me. We stopped in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and I mean it's pouring down. I'm soaked. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my hair wet and I'm dripping all over the place, man. The dude he said, man, where your rain gear? I said, man, I ain't got rain gear, man. The dude took his rain gear off. He said, man, I put my bike on the trailer, man. Hey, you can have this, brother. So I put the rain gear on, man, and I mean we still cool to this day, ironically. But yeah, man, I wasn't prepared, bro. I wasn't prepared at all. So
Oh
it
man.
made it comfortable, but I wasn't comfortable because I wasn't prepared.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, that's cool, man. So now you speed up. You join Rare
Mm-hmm.
Breed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you just mentioned that you was in another club. What made you
Mm-hmm.
go from one club? I mean, you ain't got to go too in depth, but what made you go from one club to join a Rare Breed? What was it that got your attention with the Rare Breed club?
Uh, so I started like just like venturing out, by myself. You know what I mean? And eventually, like I would just run into them dudes. Like I just always run into them on the interstate, gas station, whatever the case is, and started developing relationship with those guys or whatever the case is, and eventually it was like, okay, this would be a good look. Like they were doing a lot of things that I wanted to do, and I wanted to be a part of that.
Okay, yeah, no, that's cool, man. So now you got Rare Breed, they down there in your hometown. You wanted to be a part of that. Now you roll with them. Like you seen the way they was riding beforehand. Like what made you gravitate to them, specifically to them?
It was like when I ran into them, I wouldn't even say the way they was riding because you know what I'm saying. You see motorcycle club, like if you're on the highway, you're gonna eventually see motorcycle clubs riding, doing their own thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was more so the interactions that I had with them before joining.
Okay.
Just in passing and things like that. And another time, just so happened to be coming back from Houston again. And I was at a particular clubhouse and a member walked in and he just walked up to me like, hey man, he introduced himself, whatever, didn't know him from can of paint or whatever the case is. Man, matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and give my man shout out, man. Shout out to Dirty, West Side Dirty, Atlanta chapter Rare Breed, you feel me? He was the first person I formally met, and he was so cool, you know what I'm saying? He was like, hey man, we about to go over this other clubhouse, you know, you want to roll with us? I'm like, what? You know what I mean? He was by himself, you know what I mean? And so I hopped on my bike and we just rolled over there. We chopped it up. He said, hey, man, look, whenever you in the A, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to holler at you. I said, cool. I'm leaving Houston and I'm riding back home and just so happened, pack of breeze just, pass me up or whatever. So eventually they get off to get some gas. I get off to get some gas and, we talking and stuff and, we going in the same direction. And didn't know me from a can of paint or whatever, but they took care of your boy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I didn't have to pay for gas and nothing like that. He was like, man, everything good. We gonna all roll together. And at the time, the hurricane had just passed through South Louisiana, so a lot of gas stations was only accepting cash. And so, I only had a card on me. And so they like, man, don't worry about it. Like, man, you good. And so I was like, man, well, I'm gonna repay y'all by coming to y'all next event. They like, cool, we'll be in Savannah in like 3 weeks. And so I pulled up to Savannah, like, man, what's up?
Okay.
And we just from that, like, the next couple of months, over the next like year or so, we just developing relationships and just like being cool with each other till it got to the point where it was, time for me to, make that move.
Okay, yeah, you made that. You made that move. Now, how long have you been in the club?
What's going on? A little over 2 years.
Okay, well, to be in there for 2 years, man, you've been making your mark around the states, man.
Over 2 years.
Okay, 2 years. I got my co-host Pedro on the line, man. Pedro, you on there?
Yeah, I'm on here.
Okay, cool, man. I got GQ, man, from Rare Breed,
GQ.
Baton Rouge, but he's from New Orleans. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. That's a beautiful situation, man. I think that's a beautiful situation, man. You in, man. I liked it. I just did. The whole and actually, to be real with you, I got a certain relationship with them dudes, man. There's a lot of different cities, man, and it's all good. Every single time from the mother chapter on down, man. So I like that, man. I like that.
Yeah, man.
Good.
Yeah, definitely that, man. So now we out here. Now you Rare Breed. You getting your miles in. You riding. Everything is good. Then you jump out here, man, and you start vlogging these trips, man. I think that's where, before I actually got introduced to you by Sale, I had already seen maybe one or two of your videos. Then from the videos, I seen that you was in Detroit. Then we was on the podcast, all of us, me, you, and Sale, and we kicked it, and we've been kicking it ever since. However, what made you want to start vlogging these trips and journeys? And I mean, it's a beautiful thing to do it. It's history in the making. But what made you, get out here, going hard with it, advertising it, posting it, and making it into what you're making it into now? It's almost like a biker's journey, a biker's journal, should I say?
Yeah.
And it's not and real quick, let me get in there real quick. It's definitely motivation.
Yeah, definitely motivation, because you inspiring somebody out there. You might not even know it, but you inspiring somebody when they see you out there pounding. And for what I see, you out there by yourself. And I ride a lot by myself as well when I do have time. But yeah, what made you want to get into the social media part of it? Was it something that just happened? You didn't plan it. It just kind of took flight. How did that go?
So I was doing it, before, as soon as I got on the set in general. So even when I was with my former club, I was still, recording my rides and things like that. But it was more so something for me. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to get out and show people, like, from the city, what's out there. You know what I mean?
What's out there, yeah. Right.
The bike set got different, like, sets of, like, people. You got, the guys who are going to be local. You got the ground pounders. You got the audio, the stereo guys. You got the big wheel baggers. You got, you know, the racers and things like that. And so, like me, I wanted to be the person to just show people what's really out there and encourage them to go ride. And you know, speaking of Big Sal, like he was one of the first, you know, people I was just looking at on YouTube as far as like preparing and stuff. You know what I mean? Like he would talk about
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
things that he was doing, you know, to prepare for rides, or like one of the things that always stuck with me was his like road trip formula or something like that. He was like get a bunch of 20s and you know, you spend a 20, take the change and put it in this pocket, and by the time you get to your destination, you got this amount of money for your food and things like that. So it was like a little calculation as far as like how much money you would really need to take these trips. Because I'm like, man, I'm just, you know, starting out in the game. I don't know how much money I need to bring with me. You know, I don't want to go broke, but I want to have enough, you know, to make sure I can make these trips. So that was something that kind of stuck with me. And I didn't really see a lot of, you know what I'm saying, just to be honest, like a lot of black people doing it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see, you know, a lot of African Americans like just traveling across the country like on YouTube. Like, you know, yeah, there's people, you know, here and there or whatever, but I didn't really see a lot of, like I would like actively search. And so when I didn't see it, I started seeing, you know, other people, you know what I'm saying, different
Mm-hmm.
nationalities of people who were doing it. And so I started, you know, gaining inspiration from them too. So it's like, okay, I'm taking a lot of things that I seen from like Sal and a bunch of different people online as far as like preparation and stuff. But then I'm looking at what's your guy's name? Dude with law abiding biker. His name is Ryan Erlacher. And he took, I forgot what trip he went. He did something, but I was like, that's what I want to do. Like that literally is what I want to do. He was making like documentary style like videos, and I'm like, that's a lane that I want to jump in, you know what I'm saying? But put my own little twist
Right.
on it. So
Right.
that's what it was. It was in the beginning, it was more of like a selfish thing. Like I wanted to do it, you know, for me, but then like it just morphed into like, hey, I can use this tool to like inspire people, to help people, because a lot of people have questions, and like in our community, to be honest, like we don't really ask questions like talking about it. Like we'll sit there and just sit in the back and just be like, we'll observe and we'll just look.
Yeah.
We're not gonna really get up and like, hey bro, how you do this or how you do that? And mainly because like the in the bike community too, people like the withhold information. Just to be honest, like, you know, hey, where you got
Yeah,
this
they
stereo?
do.
Oh, the secret
Yeah,
sauce,
they
right?
do.
The secret, like, man, get a man the stereo, man. Like, it's, you know, or whatever. Where you got that rim from? Oh man, it's this exclusive, man. You can't get this rim. You know what I mean? So like, I
Yeah.
understand why people don't really ask questions. So it's like, okay, well, for me, if they ask questions, I'm gonna answer it, but I'm gonna try to put as much information out there as possible so they don't feel uncomfortable, you know, and they can just get something that's readily available. So that's like, you know, preparing to ride, you know, tire pressure, whatever, ride in the rain, what type of rain gear, heat gear, and then what actually happens out on the road. So, you know, riding in a group or ride by yourself, you know what I mean? Just dealing with
Right.
different stuff, you know, and by me documenting my experiences, you know, and it's raw. Of course, I edited and things like that, but you're gonna see me break down. You're gonna see, you know, lessons being,
Yeah. All that stuff.
I mean, lessons literally being learned in front of your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like now, I
What to
don't blast
eat.
my stereo, you know, going across country, because I did that and burnt my state up going down to Key West. Lesson learned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
so
What to
now,
eat, how to eat.
yeah, like
Yeah. All
what to
those
eat,
lessons.
how I eat. You know, I don't really eat heavy. If I'm really getting yonder and getting some miles in, you
Right.
know, I don't eat heavy. You know, look. fruits, a little something light, water,
Yeah.
keep hydrated and keep it moving.
Yeah. Hey, Pedro, listen, let me tell you. You know he made it to Detroit. He hung out with Skunk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He was a skunk.
Yeah, he made it to Detroit. This was before I knew him. Man. He came to the Motor City, actually rode around the city on his way to Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The dude came to Detroit, man, just to go to Canada. Where did you go to Canada? Did you go to Toronto?
Yeah, I went to Toronto. And look, ironic. The reason why
Did you cross over to New York?
The reason why I wanted to go there was because one thing. Look, I'm on watching Big Sale online, and he had the Los Gypsies on his podcast, and so I'm like, I want to meet them dudes. You know what I mean? Like, I want to meet the Gypsies. So like, I had been, contacting them and talking back and forth like on Instagram and stuff like for a while. Like we developed little relationships with some of their members and stuff like that. But I'm like, man, when I get the chance, I'm gonna shoot up there and I want to kick it with them dudes. And so when I was telling my family, like, hey, I'm going to Canada, they're like, well, while you up there, you might as well go to Niagara Falls. I'm like, I didn't plan on going up, but I'm like, you know what? I'm all the way up here.
You already there. Might as well.
Right. Might as well, right. You already there.
Knocked two birds out with one stone. So went out there, kicked it with the Gypsies, you know what I'm saying? Got up next morning, went to Niagara Falls, then shot back to Detroit, hung out next morning, struck out to Milwaukee.
Yeah, no, man, that's cool, man. By itself too. I got to keep on saying that. By itself.
And if you wait, this is the thing.
If you wait on somebody, you ain't gonna go.
You ain't gonna never go.
You ain't never gonna go, man.
No, always gonna be something. I got lucky when I did that 48 because I was gonna strike out by myself too, till y'all pulled up. And Josh said she gonna roll with me. So, but yeah, you ain't. Everybody gonna say they gonna go till it's time to go.
I was like, and for a good while, I had I missed a lot of trips because I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. I ain't gonna be afraid to say that. Like, I was really like afraid to go that far by myself.
Okay.
So I didn't go a lot of places I really wanted to go, and I had the time to go, but I just like, man, ain't nobody going. Nah, I'm not gonna go. And then it's like, man, old head told me, said, Q, man, if you wait on people, man, you'll never go. Say, just get out there and go. You know people. And I was like, damn, you right. And with this bike community, it's like, it's so big, but it's so small at the same time. Like, I can pick up the phone and call you. I'm going to wherever, if you don't know somebody who can help me, you know somebody who knows somebody who can help me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they are, and everybody come together, man. Oh, yeah. Everybody come together, man. No matter how you look at it, everybody comes together.
Learning that aspect of it allowed me to become more comfortable with just like striking out if I have to by myself. Of course, I would always want to have somebody with me.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just like cool to just share these experiences and like, talk noise or whatever, just have somebody to just, chop it up with while we rolling, even if it's just one person, you know what I'm saying? But I gained the confidence to go ahead and do it by myself because at the end of the day, one phone call, that's all. Boom, hey bro, look, I'm 30 miles outside of Phoenix, whatever. Oh well, I'm not home. Let me call this person. Then that person called another person, and then next thing you know, I ain't had to wait for no tow truck because somebody came and scooped me up off the roof.
Yeah. So GQ, man, let's talk about this Peace Army, man. What's the motivation behind the Peace Army? I know that's your brand. I know that you've been representing the Peace Army. I know you got apparel out right now representing the Peace Army. Tell us about that.
So the Peace Army, man, when I got on the bike set, you know what I mean? I was very green, like just very green. I didn't really know a lot. But what I did do, I observed how people, act and interacted with each other. And you know, you've been places on the bike set or just in the bike community where people, you will pull up and then, you know, people just looking at you sideways, or people mugging over here, or you know, people just having this weird kind of energy. And so I'm like, man, I don't really like, you know, that feeling. It's like, well, you know what, this ain't my vibe. Let me go ahead and keep moving. And so it's like, if I, as the person, you know, come with such a great energy and leading with, you know, peace, love, and joy with everybody I encounter, then, you know, it's going to rub off on more people, because we got more in common than, you know, people think. You know what I'm saying? You might be mugging over there, but I come over, man, hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And we go to chopping it up, and then the next thing you know, we laughing over drinks and stuff like that. But if you mugging, and then I'm mugging, and then this person mugging, and then, you know, somebody got a problem, we don't even know what the problem is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a problem that ain't a problem.
That's not even a problem.
It's not even a problem, but people just looking at each other like we got a problem. You know what I'm saying? And plus, you know, the one of the biggest things in I can't talk too much on it because I got some big plans for it, but one of the biggest things with the Peace Army is that first word, you know, peace. Riding brings such a peace of mind for, you know, the people who do take part in this sport of motorcycling. You know what I mean? It really allows us to, you know, be calm, you know, get things off our chest, woo side, you know what I mean?
Like
And you know what I mean? It relaxes us so much. And a lot of people deal with so many things on a daily basis that they keep inside. And the only time they really get a chance to, you know, let it out is on that bike. And so with the Peace Army, it's like, man, I can pick up the phone and call Lavish. I can pick up the phone and call, you know, whoever sell, whatever, and talk about the things that we going through and not feel ridiculed or, you know, put down, or feel like somebody going to try to weaponize the things that I'm telling them, because it's coming from such a deep and secluded place. So with the Peace Army, it's like, man, look, I'm creating a space, an environment for people to really come together and share, you know, things that they're going through, and we be able to bounce ideas off each other's heads and, you know, help each other out, you know, through through the shared experiences of motorcycling. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the Peace Army is all about, man. And it's something that I stand on, and it's something that I'm gonna die with.
Okay, yeah, that's cool, man. Right. Now you got the apparel, you got the hats, you got the hoodies. If somebody wanted to check out the Peace Army, if somebody wanted to say, hey, I want to support GQ, I like what he doing, I see him out here, I want a hat, I want a sweater, where can they find your merchandise at?
You can Google like Teespring and then like put in Peace Army. It's a weird URL that they gave me. It's like peacearmy.creatorgoods.spring.com. But like if you just like Google Peace Army Teespring, it should pop up on the website, and you can, you know, help support the channel. You know what I'm saying? One piece helmet at a time.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt, man. Listen, on the road, because we all done had them. I want you to tell us, what would been one of your scariest moments that you done had on a motorcycle, if you can recall. The one that really stands out the most, the one that's like, ooh, that kind of got me.
Okay, matter of fact, I was coming back from Canada. And I stopped. So I came from Canada, went back to Detroit, left Detroit, went to Milwaukee, went from Milwaukee to St. Louis. Spent the day in St. Louis. St. Louis chapter had their annual, so I hung out with them, partied with them. And then my next stop was to go from St. Louis to Memphis, and I was gonna hang out and do the Civil Rights Museum and stuff like that, spend a day there, and then get up the next morning and come on home. But I wind up going there, leaving St. Louis, going to Memphis, but the Civil Rights Museum was closed, and so I'm just hanging around. I'm just like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I was like, I'm gonna go home. I get a call from one of my bros, say, hey man, if you going home, be careful because it's like some like mad storms in the area. And I pick up my radar and I'm like, damn, like it's like real crazy. And so now by this time it's like pitch black. I'm heading home and I got about 3 hours to go, 3.5 hours. It's storming. It is storming. I'm talking about it's crazy. I can't see nothing but like everything lit up because it was so many like lightning bolts, just like boom, boom, boom. And I'm literally watching the lightning come down and hit like the ground, like ahead of me, to the side of me. And that was probably the time I was probably the most nervous, the most scared, because I was like, man, I think it's time for I think I should pull over. But
You think you should?
I'm checking the radar and I'm watching it as it's going, and so like it did a shift. So as soon as I was thinking about pulling over and stopping at one of my brother's house in Jackson, Mississippi, I'm looking at it, and then it's just the clouds and all of the red and the yellow on the radar map started going the opposite direction. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me go ahead and keep going. And eventually I made it home, safe and sound. But that was probably the most nervous. I wouldn't say scared, but I was nervous. That one did something to me. That was a lot of I never seen that much lightning in my life ever.
Yeah, and you on two wheels, so I know the feeling. You on two wheel
That's
exposed.
the thing about those rides pounding. It's only a person that been those rides can really understand that. If a person never really been out, because it's so much stuff that you're experiencing on that road besides just enjoying the ride. It's other stuff. You meeting people you ain't never met.
Mm-hmm.
Different situations occurring and stuff like that. So that's some of the stuff that I like about them long distance rides like that. Those rides. It's a lot of different things that come with those rides.
Yeah, that long distance riding is going to make you, or it's
Because
going to
either
break
you're
you.
gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. If
Right.
you're gonna pound, you're gonna like pound or you're not gonna pound. There ain't gonna be no in between. But,
right. And the thing, like you said, you either gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. My thing is like I don't want people to get turned off before they even get a chance to get out there and experience it. So like my first experience, matter of fact, I'm lying. That wasn't my most nervous ride. That first ride I took on my Road King when I first bought it and just struck out to Galveston and came back. That was my most nervous ride because it was storming rain, pounding rain, crazy rain. I didn't have no gear. See, this time I had gear. I was like prepared. But that time I didn't have nothing. And I'm talking about, man, my back tire was slick. So like I'm fishtailing, I'm doing all kind of stuff. And I'm just like, man, I just need to get home. And so I told myself when I make it home, I'm gonna always try to prepare myself to the best of my ability. So the next time I get less nervous and then less nervous and less nervous. So now, if I'm trying to if I'm putting stuff out there, I don't want people to have that first time experience like I did. Because for the average person, they're probably like, man, I'm not doing this no more. Like if it's raining, I'm not riding ever. You know what I'm saying? If I get caught in it, cool. But now, if I gotta pull out in the rain, I don't mind pulling out in the rain. Some people say, well, I'm not gonna leave in the rain. If I gotta leave in the rain, I gotta leave in the rain. When I went to Canada, I left out in the rain. So it wasn't a big deal. But I just wanna, help people as much as I can so they feel comfortable. And when they encounter those situations, they don't get discouraged. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to be
Yeah.
discouraged because it's so much beauty in getting out there and riding and long distances and seeing something that you never seen before and experiencing things. It's a beautiful thing.
Okay, yeah, no, that's what's up, man. Well, listen, man, I don't want to, keep you too long or tie up the rest of your night, but I just
I'm
wanted to
good.
get up here, huh?
I said, man, I'm good, bro.
You
Look,
said you good. You warmed up. You ready?
look, man, look,
Yeah.
I didn't. I'm in the backrest, man. I got the pullbacks and the tunes up now, man. Look, we rolling.
We rolling, man. We rolling,
Yeah.
man. That's a good thing, man. Now, as far as since you ain't got you got time this year, you coming up here to Milwaukee to the Harley anniversary party, right?
Oh yeah, hands down.
Okay. What month is that anyway?
July.
July. Okay, cool. July. Yeah. So well, I might have to run into you there. I know we talked about that. Was that yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Day before yesterday. Yeah. That's cool, man. And what's some of the other trips that you got in store? Do you how do you plan your trips? Do you got the major events that you're going to, and anything in between there is just random, based upon your schedule? How are you picking which rides you riding to, man? And how do you pick when you ride?
So it's for the people who don't know, I'm a school teacher. You know what I'm saying? So I teach school. The majority of the year. Summertime, I'm usually free. So my major rides really get done in the summertime. I try to hit uh, a couple of rallies throughout the year. Of course, we got obligations with the club and things like that. But I just try to fit in whatever I can fit in, and it's all about balance. Just trying to balance everything out. I know I want to do Milwaukee. That's like a personal thing for me. Like I want to go out there and just hang out, see what that's all about, meet some people, get some great content. You know what I'm saying? Slide over to Mount Rushmore. Never been there. You know what I mean? So just experiencing something different. Like when you're on the set, you know the set is so big and it's so small. You're gonna know eventually run into the same people over and over and over. It could be a different annual, but the same, environment. So I try to balance that with going out and to something I've never been to, you know what I'm saying, and getting that
Right.
experience and then putting people on game like, hey, check this out. I went here, you might want to check this out, you check that out, whatever the case is, you know what I mean? And but whenever I got free time and my obligations are all taken care of and squared away, just strike out.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's cool, man. So when you actually are on the set, what kind of biker are you? Are you the guy that's really the partier? Are you the one that's just sitting on the bike chilling? Like what kind of biker are you? Outside of ground pounding, outside of riding, hitting state lines, what kind of biker are you, man?
Man, honestly, I'm the chick. Like I think some people have like a misconception or misconception of like who GQ is. Like GQ is
Okay.
like a real like chill. I'm a chill person. Like I'm really just like, what's up, dog? You know what I'm saying? Like let's talk motorcycles. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really like just like chill in the back. I'm not like the rah rah rah. I don't drink. I don't smoke. So I don't really like partake in a lot of stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I just sit and just chill. I like to get out and support people. You know what I mean? I pull up, I buy my Coca-Cola, put it on some, put it on some rocks, Coke on the rocks, you know what I'm saying? Sip my little Coca-Cola, just and sit back and just chill, you know what I mean? And talk motorcycles and talk trips. That's the kind of the person I am. And I tell people, I'm just GQ. Like I'm just like that's the name of my channel is like just GQ. I don't want people to think, oh, I'm up here or I'm too good for these people. Man, look, people can call me, people can holler at me, need help, I'll be there, anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a real, like, just chill, laid back kind of dude. And the people who are closer to me, I'm pretty sure they'll vouch for me and pretty much say like, yeah, that's him. He just be chilling.
Okay, yeah. Just be chilling. You sound like me. That's it. I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling, man. I'm cool with the vibe. I'm cool with the environment, man. I'm just chilling, just enjoying everybody, enjoying
I'm
the
trying
scenery.
to do everything. I'll do everything, but I'm gonna chill that night. It's time to get on the road, but I'll be on time though.
Yeah.
Right.
Gee, listen. You know, because I pay attention. We follow each other. How much money you got into your bike, man? How much money have you tied up in your bike, man?
There you go.
It never stopped doing
it never stopped, man. I'm thinking about some stuff. But the cool part now is like, you know, people are starting to take notice and like I'm getting like sponsorships and things like that. You know, so people are sending me some things in from a bike or whatever. So I don't really have to come out of pocket. But in a Road Glide or both of them or the Road King or both.
Man, let's say both, man. What you got? Because you got them both, right? So, you know, you go out in that garage or wherever you store that bike at, and you look at that money pit, man. What you got tied up in that money pit right now, man?
I would say honestly,
I see you posted. One guy said he had 100 bands tied up in something.
Yeah, bro. Like I don't think I'm there yet.
Okay.
It's gonna get there eventually. I think the most of my money, honestly, goes into maintenance. Like that's just real.
That's
like
the number one, bro.
number one thing. Like I spend, of course, I want my bike to look fly and things like that, and you know, I want it to look a certain kind of way. But once I pretty much got my bikes like how I want. So and
right.
I use opportunities to, you know, put money into my bike. Like I laid my bike down in what that was, maybe like 2 years, like a year and a half ago. And insurance company like just broke me off. I'm like, oh yeah, look, let me get these rims, let me get this, you know, this, let me get that. I'm about to change, I'm about to black it out and all that. You know, so I'm not really coming out of my pocket per se. But I would say like total, just like maintenance and stuff, it's getting up to about 100. It'll be to 100 soon between both bikes.
Yeah, that's
Not
cool.
by 80.
By 80. Now, which one is your favorite bike, man, between the
Road
Road
Glide.
King and the Road Glide?
Road Glide.
Okay,
Road
Road
Glide.
Glide, heads down.
Road Glide.
So
Road
your Road King is just his local bike, city bike, bar
Road,
hopper.
that's the hot ride. Like, you know, that's the, you know, get on there and, you know, that's the cut up. I just get on there and just haul tail around the city, and then I'll take it out, you know, a couple of hours here and there, but nothing beat that Road Glides for its comfort and stability. You know, it's set up for me for the highway. You know, the Road King is just set up just, you know, zip around, you know what I mean, around, you know, locally for the most part, you know, little 4 hours, 4.5 hours, maybe 5 on a good day. You know, anything else, you know, now I'm going to take the Road Glide.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's cool. I'm a Road Glide guy. It took me a while to get there because I was a street guy. I was a street glide guy for a long time.
Yeah.
For a long time. I wasn't feeling that Road Glide like that.
So you rode it, right?
Yeah, until I rode it. It wasn't the looks. It was the ride. It was the ride
you
before the looks.
It changed the whole thing up.
Right.
See, I used to never think I would be on the road because I was riding around without a fairing for the longest, you know, until I got a Road Glide. I understood then.
Mm-hmm.
When I was like, oh, this why they be pounding like that.
Oh man, that bike ride so smooth.
It's just like, you know, I felt the differences in the different bikes. You know what I mean? So when I say the Road Glide is my favorite for the highway, I still have a Road King, but you know, I had Road Kings, had Street Glides. You know what I mean? And of course, I got my Road Glide now. And for me, it's the most stable, it's the most sturdy, you know, I can run up in the numbers and we can get it. You know, it ain't I don't never feel like I'm just about to just like lose control of it, even when we running in the numbers, you know what I mean? So that road glide does something. And plus it's a mean looking bike, man. When you people when you on the highway, man, you see a pack of road glides coming, man, you see them coming through, man. It's like, man, like they mean business.
Yeah, they mean business, man. I'm definitely I'm definitely the road glide guy now, man. I don't even look at the street glide the same way. I don't even look at it the same way no more, man. I can't even
get one. I still get one, but it won't ever be like the main bike for me, like the other bike.
Yeah. So listen, down in Louisiana, New Orleans. So we didn't touch on this, man. What is the bike set like down there, man? You know, explain it to me. I'm up in Detroit. I'm up in the north, man. What's the vibe down in the south in Louisiana?
So I'm gonna just speak specifically on the New Orleans side. It's family oriented, and I can really say that. Like it's more like community based, family based. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people really know each other. They been knowing each other for like years and years and years, and you know they form these clubs and things like that. So whenever something somebody's having an event, like everybody gonna pop out, like hands down. You know, it's transformed from mainly a like sport bike community. It's a more like, you know, people are getting off sport bikes and they're getting on the Harleys and stuff now, but it's moving in that direction. And because a lot of people wasn't on like cruises and things like that, most of the rides and things like that would be what I would see fairly local. Nobody, I don't say nobody, but it's not a lot of people who just like got out and just like, oh, okay, we gonna get out and just, you know, go cross country. Now you have a few clubs here and there and a few people here and there, but as a whole, I wouldn't say it's like a real like yonder type of community. It's more of like, hey, we close knit, we tight, we all fool with each other, we all support each other. You know what I'm saying? They all help each other. Type of community. That's the kind of vibe that I get from it.
All right, so down there is the bike set. Is it big down there? You know how you have certain cities, they have bigger bike sets than other bike sets. Is the bike community there big, large, or do you have to go outside of where you at to see large motorcycle crowds or whatnot?
So I've been places that have like large motorcycle crowds. That's not here. They have consistent crowds, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like you're not going to pull up and see like 40, 50, 60 bikes at a time. Like that's just, it's not going to happen. But, okay, it's a medium base, you know what I'm saying? Like depending on, you know, the night of the week or what's going on or whatever the case is, you know. But like I say, it's close knit though. But just, you know, it's not like a pseudos in Atlanta or something like that, or it's not like, you know, any of those clubs like on the West Coast when they have like the bike events and things like that. It's not to that scale, but it's growing though. It's definitely growing.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Now, while you down there, and I can't speak on your city like you can, with the bike community, do y'all experience any problems with the police? Because that seemed to be a major problem in some cities.
Not at all.
Not at all. Okay.
I'm gonna say, like down here, man, in like New Orleans, it's so, what we say, like laissez-faire, you know what I'm saying, so laid back. You know, every Sunday, we under the overpass, man, the police like lined up on the side, and you know, where all the bikers come out, and the Mopar car guys, you know, they come out, they doing burnouts and tricks and stuff like on a regular street, like like they're not blocking traffic, but they're holding up traffic while they do their thing. And like the police just like, you know, they chilling. They let it happen. It's almost like it's a part of the culture here. So like we really don't have no type of problems with as far as police concerned. Like the kids can like ride the dirt bikes. Not saying like it's legal to do, but they not bothered by that. Like they not about to sit up there and chase no kid, who just riding they bikes on the city streets or popping willies and things like that. Of course, if they hit somebody or something like that, of course they're gonna step in and intervene or whatever, and they gonna try to keep it as tame as possible. But problems, not at all, not
Okay.
at all. I can 100% without a doubt say that, not at all. You can crank your music up, burn out, you do whatever you want to do, man. Like you ain't gonna have no issues.
Okay. Now, do y'all have a helmet law down there? Is Louisiana a helmet law or no
Yeah,
helmet law?
it's definitely a helmet state. Definitely a helmet state. But people get away with all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they put the little what you call those hats?
The novelty helmets.
The novelty helmets on.
Yeah, the little novelty helmets on and ride around and stuff like that. But once again, on certain days like Sundays under the overpass, under the Claiborne Bridge, they'll ride around while they doing their tricks without helmets and stuff on. You know what I mean? Like they don't really, like I said, the police really don't really be tripping like talking about it. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely a helmet state. I ain't going nowhere without no helmet.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
Me neither, man.
And
I ain't going to the without mine.
Yeah.
Full phase the whole time, straight up.
No, right, man, and that's cool, man. I mean, Michigan, we got a no helmet law. Ohio, no helmet law. You got cities around here, states around here has no helmet law. And I won't lie, at one point in time when they did pass the law, a lot of us, we were so excited to be able to not ride with a helmet because we rode with a helmet for so long. But then you got injuries and accidents and those closed head injuries. Man, it makes a difference, right? Especially when you're self-employed. You take the wrong fall and you can't bounce back.
Right.
You might not be able to come back home. So it's like, I tell people I would wear my helmet if I was you. But then at the same time, it's hard to tell individuals what they should do or suggest something to them because they got a mentality of, man, you can't tell me what to do, man. Who is you? Who are you to tell me what I want to do? I don't want to ride a helmet. Worry about yourself. So for all the bikers out there that might be listening, coming from you, what would you tell them, the ones that don't ride with a helmet, about riding without a helmet? I'm
gonna keep it a buck. If I ain't had a helmet on when I had my near fatal accident, like I would not be here. Like two things saved me that day: my helmet and the fact that the ground that I fell on was soft at the time. I went off the road into a ditch, and then the bike flipped up and it threw me in the air, and I came down, boom, hit my head, and the rest of my body had hit the ground, but it just rained like 2 days before, so the ground was kind of soft. So even though I broke all the ribs on my my right side and my clavicle and everything, the impact wasn't as hard. But that helmet, yeah, if I didn't have a helmet on, man, I wish I can't find a picture. I had a picture of what my helmet looked like after that accident. I'm talking about it was like all tore up. Like,
and that could have been your face.
That would have been my face, man. Like, if you're gonna not wear a helmet, make sure you got your stuff, together, like life insurance, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Make sure things are taken care of, because you taking an extra risk. You know what I'm saying? Like
life changing.
Like life changing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people, you can sit up here, think about it like this, man. You sit up here, man. If you tell somebody right now, man, let me throw a rock at your head right now, they're gonna be like, hell no, that is gonna hurt. So if you sitting up there, you ain't gonna let nobody throw a little pebble at you, but you would rather get on a bike and run the risk of you falling off and like at high speed. You didn't drop a plate in your house or something that's fragile and seen in shadow. You know what I mean? Like that's my thought process behind it. You know what I mean? Like you only got one head, man. You might as well protect it at all times.
Yeah, no doubt, because you can't get another one. Yeah, you can't get another one. It ain't gonna happen. Once you lose that brain, it ain't nothing nice. Yeah. So all right. So G, it's been about an hour, a little over an hour.
Okay.
I appreciate this. I appreciate you kicking it with us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We gonna build.
See you in passing too.
Yeah, we definitely gonna see you in passing. We gonna network. We gonna keep our open lines of communication. We definitely gonna do this again. This ain't gonna be no one hitter quitter. We definitely gonna stay in touch. And what we doing over here, man, we building relationships and networking with people from all over the place. Yeah. That's what we doing, man. We share all the same common hobby, which is the motorcycle. That's the common denominator. That Harley Davidson, that motorcycle, man. When we put these colors on and we get on that bike, man, we become just one big unity, man. We just got different patches that's on the back, but we share the same thing. We got the same passion, and we connecting and we building, man. And that's what we gonna keep doing. At least me and Pedro, man, we gonna keep growing. We gonna keep building. We gonna keep connecting with different individuals from all over the country, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're gonna do, man. And another thing I want to say, I got to put this out there as well. September 1st to the 3rd, I got an event, the Lavish Biker Bash in Detroit, man. It's a 3-day weekend. I got the flyer right there. Y'all can check it out. It's a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday thing. The Sunday is like it's a farewell breakfast. We got a day party Saturday, then we got a night party, a big party, and then we got a meet and greet Friday. Rooms at the Doubletree in Detroit. Anybody that's interested, look into it. You can search the group, Lavish Biker Bash. It's an event, a 3-day weekend, man, that we doing in Detroit. Networking with the individuals, letting them come to our city, wanting to get them to come to our city, to Detroit, so that they can see Detroit, meet Detroit. Detroit, we're all over the place. In other cities, we popping up, and we're always strong, and we trying to get some of that love shown back in our hometown. So September 1st to the 3rd, Lavish Biker Bash, 3-day Detroit weekend. Anybody out there listening, I want you to take some time, check it out. Got any questions, reach out to me. But I definitely wanted to put that out there. And the GQ, man, I got to say again, appreciate you for being on the show. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Let them know. Yeah.
Keep motivating, man. Keep motivating.
Let them know one more time, for the people that didn't see it hear it earlier in the show. One, where they can find you at. And then two, let them know about that the Peace Army apparel.
Okay, so number one, you can find me on all your social media platforms at Just GQ, JUST space G space KUE. That's on YouTube. That's on Instagram. That's on TikTok. That's on Facebook. As far as like the Peace Army gear, Peace Army merchandise, you just type in Teespring Peace Army and it should pop up. The link is too, just like weird. I need to just pay for a new link because it's getting out of control now. But yeah, make sure y'all follow me on all my social media platforms. Make sure y'all rock with the channel. I'm trying to bring the MC culture to life. I'm trying to inspire people. I'm trying to motivate people. I'm trying to alleviate some of those issues that a lot of people may have and answer a lot of those questions that people may have. So if you got anything that you want to know or anything like that, please hit me up, DM me or anything like that. I'm an open book. I talk to anybody. I'm just literally just GQ, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? And as always, like I tell people when I end my thing, and I'm saying, be safe, be cool, and most importantly, especially in this motorcycle set, man, be you. Don't try to be nobody else, but be yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to do that. It's harder to try to be somebody else.
Did the colors change you?
I'm just GQ.
You just GQ? Okay, just making sure.
I'll tell you, man, look, that's one thing, man. Like, I'm not gonna change who I am because other people may want to perceive me to be like something else. Like they want me to be something else. Just because I'm a biker, don't mean I gotta act a certain way or smoke or drink or whatever. Not saying all bikers smoke or drink or whatever, but I'm not gonna do something and change who I am to fit into something. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like my train of thought is I create the environment that I want to be in. The environment doesn't create me. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be around certain kind of people. I'm gonna hang around certain kind of people. I'm still gonna be just GQ. I'm still gonna record my videos. I'm still gonna take my pictures. I'm still gonna, get my little GQ pose on, next to my bike. You know what I mean? Like I'm. It ain't gonna stop. That's just who I am. It ain't nothing new.
Ain't nothing new.
It's gonna continue.
That's right.
All right, cool. Well, listen up, everybody. You just watched Lavish T. Williams. You just watched the Lavish Biker Podcast. And again, we're going to be trying to do this. We're going to find different individuals from all over the country, tap in with them, kick it with them, communicate with them, all that cool, good stuff. You get a minute, make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at Lavish T. Williams. Make sure you subscribe and turn the notifications on YouTube so that you can see my videos when they pop up. I got some real cool stuff coming, and I'm keeping the content constantly coming, but I need the support from you guys. And you can follow me on Instagram. Make sure you go to my Instagram page, Lavish T. Williams, and click that follow button. All right, we're going to go ahead and end this podcast. I appreciate each and everybody for tuning in, taking your time watching it. And if you're not watching it live, the fact that you came back to watch the podcast is greatly appreciated. Everybody be safe out there, and until the next time.
Peace.
Yeah, you know it.
You've been listening to the Lavish Biker Podcast with your hosts, Lavish T. Williams and Pedro, the dopest podcast in the nation. We want to thank you for hanging out with us, and make sure to add, like, follow, and subscribe at Lavish T. Williams on all social and streaming platforms. We'll see you next time on the Lavish Biker Podcast.